Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I can't believe it's December. Like, I genuinely cannot believe it's Christmas in 24 days. There is so many things happening that are so exciting this month. And you're gonna have to stay put because they're secrets. So I'm not doing Vlogmas this year, just because I just find Vlogmas heavily saturated. I feel like a lot of people do Vlogmas, a lot of effort goes into doing a Vlogmas, and to be perfectly honest with you, I have enough on my plate as it is without having the stress of having to create content and sharing a YouTube video every single day of December. I know some people don't do it every single day, but still, there's going to be a couple of exciting videos coming up. Leave it at that. But how are you doing? I hope you're well. It's a very, very, very miserable day in the UK. When is it not? Although that being said, there have been a few nice sunny days. Yesterday it was lovely and sunny. My Spanish relatives were over from Spain, and my dad and I took them to the Cotswolds for the day. So we started our visit to the Cotswolds by going to the beautiful village Bourton-on-the-Water, which was absolutely stunning. We had a gorgeous walk along the little river that runs through the village. We stopped off at a lovely pub. We had a look at all the little shops. We went into a sweet shop and got some sweets. It was very cute. Then we moved on to Daylesford Organic Garden Centre kind of vibey place. So after we went to Daylesford, it then started getting a little bit dark, and then we were going to plan to go to Burford Garden Centre, but actually en route to Burford Garden Centre we drove through Burford itself. It was a lovely village, and we stopped off in a gorgeous pub and had some drinks by the fire, which I feel like is the perfect way to finish a day in the Cotswolds. All the Christmas lights were up, so it was just beautiful. Anyway, really going on that one. So today, as you can probably tell by the title, we are heading off to a completely different venue. So Vossi and I have never been there before. It just so happens it's a 25-minute drive away. It's my closest venue. I never knew this. There's me constantly going to Berry Farm and Brook Farm thinking they're my closest BD venues. Just so happens, spanner in the works, there's another one. There's so much closer for me. So we're going to a different venue today. I wanted to test out a new venue, and I also wanted to just go to a show. I feel like I couldn't finish the year on a show in early November. So I'm only doing one class today. I'm just doing the Novice 4 class. It's a shame because they don't have the Novice 5 test. They've only got the Novice 4 and the Novice 6 running today. I don't know the Novice 6 yet. So I'm just going for the Novice 4, as I said. See and explore a new venue for Vossi and I, see how we get on and just have some fun. So that is the goal for today. I'm going to bring you guys along because it's a Saturday. Mum is coming with us. I haven't had a training session this week, so I'm just going to have to be like really thinking about what I've learned in the past, putting that into practice today, making sure we've got a nice forward rhythm. And also I looked at my previous score sheet and sort of took in the comments from the judges, and the main things I had were not forward enough, which is fine. Today's focus is going to be on getting him nice and forward. And also a few comments of him against the hand. So I'm still not 100% sure what against the hand actually means. But I do know that when we got downwards, I know that when I go to my downwards transitions, when I go in my upwards transitions, he'll sometimes like nod his head forward as opposed to just, keeping in a nice frame. It could be that. So I feel like the only way I can kind of avoid that is by pushing him a bit more forward before like a trot to canter transition, for example, so he's got enough momentum to push upwards into the canter. Anyway, I am, as always, talking a load of nonsense. I am really excited because I've got some new hair accessories actually that I'm going to be wearing today. Got this little cute hairband and this little cute bun, and then I do have my little hair bun. So we've got a nice neat bun, and then also I've got a videographer coming. So my mum's going to be filming on my phone for my YouTube content, and then I've got a professional videographer coming to capture my last show of 2024, because as you guys know, I am all about capturing those memories, sharing them with you. You can see how we're developing, how we're transforming, how we're progressing. And for me, it's all about the memories. It's about looking back at how far we've come and feeling proud of what I've achieved with Vossi. So I think now we're going to head to the yard. I'm going to muck out. I need to bring Voss in and plait him, hitch up the trailer. My tack's already packed in the car. The night before a show, I always put my numbers on just because I feel like that is a really fiddly job and it is time consuming. And if you're in a rush, which most of the time I am, I find if you do that the night before, it's one less thing to worry about. So that's all sorted. I've got about 10 white saddle pads in the back, so we're all good for saddle pads. Girth, riding boots, what else, riding hat. Have I got my jacket? Yeah, my jacket is shoved in the back there. All my stuff is really dirty. I'm actually quite ashamed. It all needs cleaning, but yes. Anyway, I will catch up with you guys soon. Wow, I've done the jobs at the yard, and this week I actually made Vossi a new paddock. Honestly, that is the perks of electric fencing. I know it doesn't look as beautiful as post and rail, but in times of need in winter, that was his previous paddock over there, when all of the grazing disappears, you can just move the electric fence to some new grazing. Anyway, the whole point of giving him a nice new paddock was because his previous one over there, believe it or not, just moving the posts over a few inches, so much wetter over there. So I was like, oh, you know what? I'll give him a nice new paddock so that he doesn't get muddy. Yeah, that didn't work. Want a treat? He wants a treat. Okay. Oh, you missed it, Vossi. Come on. Right, let's bring him in and pat him up and sort this mud out. Not ideal. So I bought Vossi and it's just gone 10:30. I want to be gone off the yard just before 12 because it's going to take about 35 minutes, 40 minutes to get there. My competition time is 1:45. I want a good 40 to 45 minute warming because I haven't schooled him all week because of how wet the ground's been, and I haven't been able to make it to my trainers this week because I've just been flat out. So I'm gonna first of all prioritise cleaning off the mud and poo. I'm so annoyed because I actually washed his tail 2 days ago and then plaited it up so it'd be nice and like crinkly for the show, but I just feel like it's so pooey that's not really acceptable in my opinion. So as a result, I think I'm going to wash it again. I'm unsure whether I'm going to wash that again or not. I might just leave it. Right, let's get on. I've got too much to do. And then after I've cleaned him up, I'm going to start plaiting. That's what takes the most time. So I have, I didn't know whether or not I was just going to need a cloth and some non-rinse shampoo spray to just get rid of the poo stains on Vossi. However, after closer inspection, I realised that actually they needed purple shampooing. So I had to wash all 4 of his legs because they were just caked in mud and poo. And I'm just now balling up his plaits. He's got his massage heated pad on, just to warm his back up. He's done about 10 poos. Wow, that is a sloppy one from the new grazing I put him on. And he's just done his 11th poo. It's currently 11:30. I still need to hitch up after I finish golf balling these balls, these plaits, and then I think we're going to head off. I would rather get there earlier than later, especially as for me, it's like a different venue that we've never been to before, so we need to like suss out where to park, which arena I'm in, like tack up, get myself ready as well. So yeah, just gonna finish golf balling these up pretty quickly and then yeah, head off. So I will probably catch you guys at the show. So I had a quick 5 minutes to do my hair and makeup just because obviously I've got the videographer coming and I like to look a little bit nicer when we've got professional footage involved. Loaded Vossi, just waiting for Mum, and then we can head off. Oh, here she is, perfect. So I'm going to voice over the warm-in and the test, because in the past when I've done videos to music, people have said they like to hear what I got and what marks I got at each point. So I always begin every warm-in session, whether I'm training or competing, with a really good walk and trot long rein. I just let him long and low and let him really stretch out and warm in through his back before then asking for the collected frame and asking for a forward trot and canter, because it shows he does feel tense, and in the warm-up he did feel quite strong in my hand, and I can definitely understand previous points from previous judges where they've said there needs to be more acceptance of the bridle. So moving on to the test after a very brief warm-in. Mum didn't capture quite as much content as I'd have liked, but we gave him a thorough 45-minute warm-in just because I hadn't managed to school him the whole week prior to the competition because of how wet the ground was and because of how busy I'd been. I hadn't been able to train. So we scored a 7 for our entry, proceeding down the centre line and tracking left at C. The next movement we had was to change the rein, SF, showing some medium trot strides, where we also scored a 7. Some promising steps, but we could have taken the nose more forward. So then we do our 15-metre circle at A. Now, I thought this 15-metre circle was good, but we scored a 6.5 for this, and the comment being that we were a little behind the vertical. Then moving on to AV working trot, VM, change the rein, showing some medium trot strides. For this, we scored a 7. No comment there. I was really happy with Vossi when he changed the rein here. And again, at C, circle left, 15 metres, we scored another 6.5. And again, we were told, because he was coming behind the vertical a little bit. I thought the comment was a little harsh, but I can also understand, like, you guys know I'm always struggled with being behind the vertical. So then picking up the canter between C and H, and then circling left 20 metres at E, we scored a 7. A smooth transition to canter, slight loss of balance after E, but fair between G and R. That was obviously giving of the reins. Sorry, I forgot to say we had to give of the reins at the second part. So EVKAF, working canter, and then between F and R, so the long side coming up here, show some medium canter strides. And down here we scored a 7. Nose more forward, E onwards, but bold medium. I was happy with that. And then between M and C, transition to working trot, we scored a 7. And between C and H, transition to medium walk, we scored a 6.5 because the nose needed to be more forward. SP, changed the rein in a free walk on a long rein, and this was double marks. Absolutely chuffed with this because we scored a whopping 8.5. That is the highest mark we've achieved to date. So I was absolutely chuffed with that. P, medium walk, and then between F and A, transition to working trot. We scored a 7 for this. I always struggle a little bit with that because Vossi tends to jog when I ask him to go from that walk to a trot. He tries to jog beforehand. Anyway, after that, it was between A and K, transition to working canter. E, circle right 20 metres. Give and retake the reins when crossing the centre line for the second time. And we scored at 6.5 for this. Slight loss of balance was the comment. ESHCM, working canter. And then between M and P, which is this long side coming up, show some medium canter strides, and we scored a 7.5 for this. I do feel like I could have been a bit more bolder with the medium canter, but we still scored a 7.5, so I was happy for that. So at P, working canter, between F and A, transition to working trot, we scored a 7 for that. VP, half circle right 20 metres and allow the horse to stretch. I was super happy with this, guys. As you know, I have been working solidly on my working him long and low, and that has really transformed our marks. And we scored, as I said, scored a 7.5 for that. Retake the reins between P and F, turn it down the centre line. We scored a 7. And then at X, halt, immobility, salute. And Mr. Vossi halted really square for a beautiful 8. So our collective marks, we scored a 8 for paces, a 7.5 for impulsion, 6.5 for cooperation, and a 7.5 for rider's position and seat. Oh my goodness. I've just got home. I've taken Vossi off the trailer just because I didn't want to do my debrief whilst he's stood there, whilst I'm chatting away here. But oh my God, guys, I'm thrilled. My final show of 2024, different venue. Vossi and I have never been before, not for an arena hire, never, ever been. So the arena that you saw me competing in, on the other side of that is the show jumping arena, and there were tons of show jumps there. And also on the fence panel is the lights. So the light poles are attached to the fence post, and as you guys saw or may not have seen, I don't know whether Mum recorded it or not. I haven't seen the footage back yet. Vossi had 2 major spooks before my test started, and I could not for love nor money get him back onto the track. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is not what I need. So I quickly did a circle, came around again to show him it again, before then obviously the bell went and I had to start my test. So I was honestly expecting a really spooky test, if I'm honest with you, and I wasn't going to be mad because it was the first time I've been there. And I've learned with Vossi that usually I have to take him to a venue a few times before competing a test for him to like fully relax. But oh my God, did he surprise me? We scored a whopping new personal best of 71.87. The judge was incredibly fair, and the reason I say that is because usually when I score high, I'm like, oh, was the judge just really nice? Did she score everyone that way? But when I look through the score sheet, all of the comments that this judge has said is exactly what my other judges have said as well. We scored, and this is for me what I think won the class for us. Here's our little red frilly. We scored an 8.5 for our free walk. It's double marks. So we got 2 times 8.5 for that. That really bumped up the scores. We scored another 8 for our halt immobility salute at the end, which was amazing. And for our collective marks, I scored an 8 for Vossi's paces, a 7.5 for his impulsion, a 6.5 for cooperation. And this is a point at the moment I'm really struggling with. Georgie and I are going to have to work more on this. Acceptance of the bridle. I did so many transitions in the warm-up, but now that I'm more relaxed with my tests, because I've been going frequently to shows and kind of got over the anxiety part of shows, which, by the way, guys, if any of you have struggled with anxiety at shows, or, you know, feeling like you're just so stressed, the best thing to do is just keep going more shows, once, twice a month, to get over that. Because since I've been doing once or twice a month competitions, my show nerves have now eradicated. So I could really feel in the warm-up, it wasn't my nerves that were impacting Vossi. He genuinely just felt tense in that warm-up, and I think it's just something to do with new environment, new surroundings. And he felt that exact same way when I was riding him today in the test as well. I could really feel that he was like tense through his body and his neck. So that's a real interesting point on how I'm going to overcome that, because when we train, Vossi doesn't feel tense. Vossi really relaxes, because obviously I'm training at my trainer's yard regularly and he goes there every week, so he's used to the environment. So it's one of those, it's like, how do we train to teach relaxation with Vossi? Because I tried the transitions, I did lots of transitions in the warm-up, did lots of walk to halt, halts to walk, walk to trot, trot to walk, trot to canter, lots of transitions. And I just didn't feel like it helped that much. I did actually get a stick. I asked Mum to give me a stick so I could warm him in with the stick, just to try and get him to be a bit more, just to help with the impulsion a bit, which did kind of help. But I didn't take the stick in with me in my test, because I was like, what is the point of doing a test with a whip when I know I can't do that in a championships or an area festival? So it's like, I try really hard to keep with the rules as they would be at a champ, so I don't get in bad habits at normal shows. But we finally finished on a 7.5 for rider's position and seat. So yeah, the main thing here, the main points were that again, he was a little bit behind the vertical at points. That was picked up on a bit, and it's really hard because I still haven't quite overcome the idea of fully remembering a test. Like, I know that test at the back of my hand, but when I'm doing it in a new environment with new judges on me, it's something in my brain. It's like a fear that I have that gives me brain cloud, cloudy brain, whatever the sentence is, brain fog, gives me brain fog, and then I'm not as on it as I am when I'm training, with when Vossi does tuck his head under a bit and go behind the vertical. So again, I think that comes down to experience. Come on guys, I'm just approaching my second year in BD. I am so proud of myself. So yeah, there was some comments about slight loss of balance in the going from the medium canter down to the working canter between G and R, which totally fair comment. But apart from that, mainly behind the vertical, literally nothing else. And then the final comments were basically super forward thinking horse. I can't read some of this. Balance on circles, maybe tendency, guess tendency, I don't know, something like balance on circles, hard at times. So yeah, just again, because he wasn't very fluid through his neck, it was hard for me to kind of turn him nice and fluidly in the circle. But the judge said so much more to come. So I'm thrilled. I couldn't be happier. I'm genuinely over the moon to finish 2024 on a win and a good bloody score. My personal ever best score in a normal straight test. Absolutely thrilled. So I think I'm just going to go finish Vossi off now. And yeah. Let's show everybody how we really are, because we always miss the reality of what happens from a show. I give you so many kisses. I'm so close. Because you're my baby and you make me so proud. Yes, you make me so proud. Hey? Yeah. Give me a kiss. Mwah. Give me kisses. Give me kisses. Mwah. Yes. I love you. I love you so much. You're such a good boy. As you can tell, I literally couldn't be happier. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!